RAF Fairford in Gloucestershire. Over 400 aircraft and 180,000 visitors have come to the Royal International Air Tattoo. Stretching for 2 miles, the runway is one of the longest in the United Kingdom and an important NATO asset. But back in 1943, when the airfield was built, it was less than half its present length. Here, in September 1944, troops serving with the 1st Air Landing Brigade wait to board the Horsa gliders that will take them to the battle for Arnhem. In the early 50s, the US Corps of Engineers extended the airfield to the size we see today, but now it's in need of major reconstruction to be able to fulfill its role in NATO. A task of this size and complexity demands an outstanding team to carry it out. In 1998, MOD Defence Estates commissioned Parkman as the project managers to develop and supervise a contract for the redevelopment. This was awarded to Alfred McAlpine Civil Engineering in the year 2000. The detailed design, development and construction needed to be complete within 21 months. The project involves the design and construction of pavement, lighting, jet fuel, earthworks, drainage, and high-voltage installations. Consulting engineers Berks Green have been employed to prepare the design for all the civils and building works and to coordinate the specialist designs for the high-voltage, jet fuel and lighting. The most visible part of this £60 million contract is the reconstruction of much of the existing pavement area, and this has been increased in size by some 30%. On the runway, the old friction course is removed and a layer of Marshall asphalt added, before finishing with a new friction course. The concrete threshold areas have been broken out and replaced with airfield pavement quality concrete. At the western end of the runway, the overrun sloped down steeply. This has been raised to meet current standards. Taxiways and hard stands cover a considerable area of the airfield. The northern and southern taxiways lie each side of the runway, and there are hard stand areas to the southwest and southeast. The existing concrete is broken out, crushed and screened for reuse in lean concrete production, drainage and granular backfill. Reusing this material has considerably reduced lorry movements on local roads. The new concrete is mixed in 3 batches on site, which have produced as much as 3,000 cubic meters a day. 3 slip-form pavers lay the new concrete, up to half a metre thick, and enough to make a dual carriageway from London to Oxford, a total of 400,000 cubic metres. The pavers are usually guided by wires positioned by survey teams, but here the joint venture of Alfred McAlpine and SIAC are also using a stringless paver with a remote electronic guidance system. A disc prepared by the design team with the control guidance data is fed into the machine. This method saves time and expense. Some of the largest and heaviest aircraft in the world must be able to operate here for the next 30 years. So the design, production and workmanship required exceeds that of roads and motorways. A heavy rainstorm will drop thousands of gallons of water on these surfaces, which must be drained to allow aircraft to operate safely at all times. So a complete new drainage system to cope with these large volumes of water has been installed using some 12 miles of pipework. In addition, 4 miles of Zern high-capacity slot drain have been used alongside taxiways and where drainage is needed within large areas of concrete. Oversized pipes act as reservoirs to allow controlled release of water that would otherwise overwhelm the local streams. Interceptors prevent any harmful spillages from contaminating watercourses. Removing the existing surfaces has also removed all the airfield ground lighting. AT Group have designed and installed a new system providing lighting for runway, taxiways, overruns and threshold bars, and at the western end, new approach lights have been installed. Refuelling is a fundamental requirement at an airfield, and Fairford is no exception. A third of the contract value is involved in upgrading the jet fuel capability. Motherwell Bridge Engineering have designed and installed the mechanical and electrical works. Fuel arrives on site through an existing pipeline into a new product reception facility, and after filtering is pumped to the storage tanks. 5 new bulk storage tanks will increase the overall capacity by 20,000 cubic meters, and an existing tank is being refurbished. These steel tanks, surrounded in concrete, have been partially buried and landscaped over. New pump houses, filter houses and control rooms are positioned near the tanks, and from here fuel is pumped through a 6-mile distribution system to refueling points on 29 new hardstands. This installation now meets the latest environmental requirements. The existing electrical system needed to be brought up to the latest standards. This work was carried out by MEB Contracting and involved 12 miles of new cable. 21 substations and transformers were replaced, including a number within the main base area. RAF Fairford is in the Upper Thames Valley, an area acclaimed by residents and tourists for its beauty. So before the contract started, meetings with local councils and residents agreed ways of minimising impact. These liaison meetings have continued during the project. With around 50,000 lorry loads due into the site, safety considerations were vital. Some £600,000 were spent on local highway improvements. This airfield is considered to be of county-wide archaeological significance, and the Museum of London Archaeology Services were brought in to monitor the excavation work. A skeleton dating from the Roman period and 4 others from the early Bronze Age were uncovered and taken to local museums. Despite its operational status, RAF Fairford has a community of great crested newts, a European protected species, and these were moved by licensed handlers to a new pond of their own on the base. Other areas were protected by warning notices. The wettest winter for 300 years may not have affected the newts, but made the engineering task harder. This complex work has also been carried out on and around an active military airfield and its base, with strict security rules in force. The project has been split into 3 main sections with a final completion date of spring 2002. The first significant milestone, marking the end of the first stage, was handover of the runway in June 2001 to the client, and this was marked by a ceremony attended by the Commander, Headquarters Air Combat Command. This complex project, the largest single contract awarded by NATO since the Cold War ended, has presented many challenges. These have been successfully met by an engineering team assembled for their unique skills. The modern RAF Fairford is now set to continue as a valuable NATO asset, able to fulfill its role well into the millennium.